Hey everyone, welcome back to Drawing One. This is your instructor, Alexa Carabin Kleiner. So now that we've done the grayscale exercise and the value sphere, we're going to move on to looking at an object in reality based on observation and looking at the value of that object. Now, I want you to pick a simple object. An example would be an egg, a ball, a cube, a white cup, a roll of paper towel or toilet paper, a bowl or mug, a large rock, really whatever you can think of. I looked around my studio and I found a bottle of glycerin and I peeled the label back because the text is distracting to the value. So I thought you could use a bottle of shampoo or conditioner or something in the same way. But again, you have all those other options. I think your object should be big enough where you can observe the value. If you use something like an eraser, it's pretty small. And yes, you can observe value in this, but I'd like you to use something a little bit bigger so you can really see the value changes. So now that we have our object, I'm going to set it up. So here's my setup. I have my lamp, which is my light source, and I have my object. And what I'm looking for when you set up your light source and your object is that the light is coming from a clear side. So there's not multiple light sources coming on like diffusing the highlights and also distorting the shadow. So if you look at my object, I can see the light is coming from on the right, upper right, and I see the shadow cast off of where the light source is coming from. So I will add, there is a window behind me, which is adding some complexity to my object. I can see a highlight running down the middle of the object, and I can see a distortion in the shadow, and that's what that's coming from, is that there is actually multiple light sources, but there's a dominating one, which is the lamp, and it's because I turned off all the other lights in my studio, so it's concentrated on like that light source. So what you want to do is you can set your object on a side table that has a lamp. You can set your object by a window and turn off all the lights. You could use a flashlight or your phone as the light source, but you just want to make sure there's one dominating light source on your object. Now that we have our simple contour drawing of our object, we will start looking for the value. We're looking for highlight, light, core shadow, and reflected light, and the cast shadow. So I want you to approach this as you would any contour drawing, but draw extremely light. So what you are doing is you are outlining the lightest lights and any line of any mode of differentiation between value. So like when you notice a jump between a highlight and light, you're going to gently outline that area. Okay, and now that I've taken note of all the light areas, I'm going to look at my object and identify the darker areas. Okay, I did have a technical error where I thought I was videoing the entire process of shading in the background, and I didn't. I pushed the wrong button. So here's my background. I have like a bookshelf in the back, so I just implied that. And what you're looking for with the background is you're making like highlighted areas pop, and you're looking at the relationship between like the value here and the value here, the value here and the value here. So this is a sketchbook assignment. I want you to be kind to yourself. Just do the best you can. The main thing I want you to take away from this assignment is 1, shading practice, and 2, looking at the objects and being able to identify the value. So look for the highlights, look for the light, look for the core shadow, look for the reflected light, look for the cast shadow, and that you're able to identify that and express it in some sort of way. So I'm not going to grade these on if they're good or bad. I'm going to grade that you're actually looking at an actual object and that you're trying your best to understand value. Tips for success: use whole arm movements for smooth shading. Build layers slowly and evenly. Start light. Start with the contour drawing or the gesture drawing, clean up with contour, identify your value changes by lightly outlining them, start shading using the side of your pencil, and add a background to ground the object and make it stand out, and start looking at the background, the background value as well, and how that plays into grounding the object and placing the object in space. So work slowly, observe, and do your best and have fun. I can't wait to see your drawings.